Welcome, Wanderer. There are three classes that will absolutely dominate Season 10. We get the Druid, Sorceress, and the Necromancer, and each of them has multiple builds. And when we talk about dominate, it's not only about the actual power level, it's also about how easy they are to put together. Because every build is strong if I put 4 mythic items on it. But some of these builds are powerful already with their one key unique in its weakest form. Let's start with my favorite in Season 10, the Druid. We get Pulverize, then there's also Boulder, and most likely the strongest being Companion with Ravens. All three builds will be boosted by chaos perks significantly, namely Overabundance. This says now every 100 spirit you generate above your maximum increases your damage by 100% for 5 seconds, and this bonus can stack 3 times, which leads to a huge boost. During the PDR, this boost was 50% instead of 100%, but it could stack infinitely, and you were pretty much able to get 1000% damage bonus out of it, which led to trillions and negative integer quadrillions damage, numbers beyond belief. That's the reason they put it to 100% and then 3 times 100% on top. Okay, fantastic. That means I'm only going to deal hundreds of billions instead of trillions damage. Looking forward to it. First build to go crazy on the Druid will be the Poison Puddle Splasher with a Rotten Lightbringer. The build is quite simple. The Rotting Lightbringer as a weapon makes us do poison puddles, and you pulverize into the poison puddles, and everyone dies to billions and billions of overpowered damage. And now with chaotic uniques, that Rotting Lightbringer, instead of being your two-handed weapon, can be your pants. And we can play a two-handed weapon, which also gets tempers, and on top an aspect that gets boosted by 100%, giving you vast increases in power level. But you don't even need it. So if you get the Rotten Lightbringer as a chaotic armor, you will be so much stronger. But if you don't get it, you are still so incredibly powerful because of the chaotic perks. Optimally, you would get the Rotting Lightbringer as a pair of boots. This would also empower your aspect, because right now it's at 600%, but if it is a chaotic armor as boots, there's another 20% added on top, which gets our 600% bonus up to a grand total of 720%. Plus then the 400% from the Overabundant. Next up, let's talk about Companion Druid. And before you ask for the nitty-gritty details, skill tree, Paragon board, everything, we have planners in the description below for every single build, and there will be also level planners added, plus a level video coming. Companion Druid is all about the Ravens. You speedrun through the pit, Helltide, whatsoever, and you can spam your Ravens as a core skill due to an amazing chaotic perk. And that leads to crazy levels of damage that were so much out of control that, again, it led to negative integer damage, and the game couldn't even count how much damage you were dealing. Which means that now with the nerfs, we'll probably end up at 10, 20, 50, 100 billion damage instead. Shocketh. Maybe we might still reach the trillions with a good equipment, but hey, it already is fire. The 3 important pieces here are the Savagery. Your companion skills are altered to also be core skills. They get 80% more damage. Cool, that was actually buffed from 60 to 80. Then we still have the Overabundance to spam them out more. And you get the amazing Kilt of the Blackwing, which says Ravens deal 120% increased damage, and shapeshifting into a different form or activating a companion skill summons a Raven that attacks nearby enemies. Summoning a Raven has a chance to call forth an Unkindness, and then you summon 3 Ravens instead of 1 Raven. This paired together with a Stormcrow's aspect that says Ravens now deal lightning damage, which is increased by another 100%, and Raven's active deals its full damage in half the time enemies inside are stunned. Lastly, the Shepherd's aspect gives you more damage per companion floating around. And with the aspect of Wild Rage, you have a 40% chance to activate an equipped companion skill. The thing is, we will only equip one skill with this build, and that would be our Ravens. You don't need to have the other companions in your skill bar. Because the companion key passive says your companion skill each gain 1 additional companion, and we gain the passive effect of Ravens, Wolves, and Poison Creeper. So we always have Poison Creeper, Wolves, and Ravens anyways, but we don't need to pull them in our bar, which is bonus companions, for more damage, and they again get more damage, and we get another one on the tippity top. Plus then the Overabundance. Yeah. And that aspect that was triggering the Ravens to bonus attack was actually bugged in the PDR and stacking more damage on top of each other, which means I was playing without it and already doing insane damage. The best part about Kilt of the Blackwing, you can play it as a boot, So it gives you a bigger aspect. It gives you the 120%. But even if you don't have it as a boot, if you have the Kilt of Blackwing as your pants, it's going to be insanely strong. It's just stronger if it is a chaotic armor, but you literally don't need it as a chaotic armor to function. Lastly, I want to mention an all-time favorite, and that is Boulder, which is now stronger than ever. Also, because of the overabundance, because we're spamming boulders and we're stacking boulders and we're restoring spirit and we're getting more damage. Plus the power siphon, which says your core skills deal 100% increased damage, but also reduce your maximum current resource by 20 for 6 seconds. This reduction stacks but does not refresh. Doesn't really matter, because we can spam our 10 boulders with the power siphon in 6 seconds, and then just leave them go around. We play the Mjolnir ring, which has us have infinite spirit, so we can just spam away without thinking about it, make the boulder more powerful than ever with the overabundance, and with bronze over brains get another 125% more overpower damage multiplicative. Yeah, boulder is just gonna absolutely meat grinder everything. Especially we can play the Dolmen Stone, and then we can move the Banished Lord's Talisman as a glove. So our overpower critical strikes get another 72% bonus boost. We get ranks to core skills, which is amazing, and we get more overpowers in general. Same goes, we can play Air of Perdition and Vasili's Prayer at the same time, if Vasili's Prayer is then a boot, and the Air of Perdition is our helmet. Maximum core skill overload. Again though, this build will work as soon as you have the Dolmen Stone and the Mjolnir ring. If you have these items as chaotic uniques, stronger, but not needed. Let's go over to the sorcerers. First, we still have Hydra. Hydra hasn't changed. Hydra is still amazing. Sure, they nerfed some things and the serpentine aspect ain't as strong as it used to be anymore, yet though, Hydra is so easy to put together. You get your Ophidian Iris, and as soon as you have that, Hydras are just dominating. You're just going to be flying through the content, and you will be stronger with the chaotic perks. Getting yourself the Mana Shield, the Power Siphon for more damage to your core skills, with the advanced techniques giving you even more damage to your core skills. If you haven't played Hydra yet, I would highly recommend going for it. However, there are two more fun builds, and that would be the Zoom Ball of Lightning and the Boom Ball of Lightning. The Zoom Ball of Lightning is all about Oaken's Catalyst. We want maximum movement speed to fly through the level, and we can cast Ball of Lightning while moving, which then will orbit around us. And on impact, shred everyone into pieces while you just keep spamming the Ball of Lightning and keep running. Very great for farming, Pit, Helltides, Infernal Hordes, whatever you can think about it. It's just fun because you're going around, and I've never played a Ball of Lightning build before because it used to be super OP, and now it's back to being super OP, and quite fun. Mana Shield is going to stop you from dying. We get the advanced techniques again for the core skills and the Power Siphon for more core skill damage. And then you have Oaken's Catalyst in your offhand. You can as well swap around all the sorcerers uniques to boost them. Like I can play the Shroud of the False Death for passive skills bonus together with Raiment of the Infinite as my boots. Again though, it will work with Raiment of the Infinite as my chest and then complete normal boots for movement speed. Interestingly enough, we can finally play Lockhorn's Talisman, giving you bonus critical strike chance up to 48% and bonus critical strike damage, and we'll have at least 500 mana with this build, giving us a huge boost. And with Esidora's Overflowing Cameo, we'll have our Crackling Energy on top of our Oaken Catalyst do quite some damage around us. The Boom Ball of Lightning is quite different. Here, in this case, we're now focusing on having our Ball of Lightning do insane overpowered damage with the Strike of the Stormhorn. Strike of Stormhorn says you get 300% total bonus damage, and Super Ball of Lightnings are larger and deal 125% more damage. You get Super Ball of Lightnings with a chance to cast twice, and you already have chance to cast twice on this item. Then we're going to increase the cost of our core skills tremendously with the advanced technique. Your base core skill ranks increases their mana cost. If you increase their mana cost and then reduce it slightly with the Ring of Starless Skies and put it back up again with the Crown of Lucian, you're going to end up with every single Ball of Lightning or every second Ball of Lightning being an overpower on the Banished Lord's Talisman. And that's crazy. You're just going to spam Ball of Lightning forward, you're getting these Super Ball of Lightnings, and they're just most likely an overpower that will tear you into pieces. You get tons of core skill ranks here to increase the cost meaningful, that then with the Crown of Lucian, you really end up with bop, bop, poof, bop, bop, poof, bop, bop, poof, and spam everyone down. Considering that we're going to spend quite some time in the Infernal Hordes, I gotta say that I enjoyed the Zoom Ball of Lightning more, which really allowed you to just fly around the map. Let's not discount Hydra Thor though, because as a farming build, I need to get those bosses killed, I need to get stuff together, it's probably one of the most convenient builds out there. You simply just really get the Ophidian Iris from Duriel, and that's it. Your build's done. You don't need to get anything else anymore. Now to our final piece, the Necromancer. We do have a form of Bloodwave returning, but different than ever. There might even be something coming with Bone Storms. Then we get Summons buffed, and maybe Golem completely going out of control. And lastly, we can zoom around the map with Blight, stronger than ever. What happened to our minions? Well, the Wither node in the Paragon board get changed. It used to only work on damage over time, giving our Shadow skills bonus damage. Now it says we have a 20% chance on any kind of shadow damage to trigger a huge damage boost. And that Wither node now works with the skeletal mages when you're going for the shadow mages for the bonus shadow damage, and they're going to throw out their shadow damage and do tons of damage, which is already going up to the billions. And then they can trigger the Wither to add another 300% plus on top of it. Problem is, if your enemies die in 1 or 2 hits, it's no damage boost at all. So you most likely only feel it against bosses, higher pits. Until then, it's kind of like, yay. However, but more damage is more damage. For the Bloodwave, we have something truly interesting though, because we're not going to play the Bloodwave pans anymore. Now, screw that triple cast. What you can do is you can play a chaotic power called Alter the Balance. Your base core skills are now ultimates, and your ultimate skills are now core skills. And if your ultimates are core skills, they get boosted by all ranks to core skills, but they still have the ultimate tag, which is interesting, and you can spam them away. No more cooldown reduction needed, nothing. Now you can just spam Bloodwave away. You could still play the title aspect for that 100 or 200% damage boost, but that would not allow you to spam the wave. Without the title aspect, you can actually spam it away. And then simply play Apogeic Furor, which gives you 10% more damage, up to 100% more damage, and you can just, again, spam your ultimate skill away for the bonus damage. With the Vehement Brawler boosting your damage even more, the Sacrificial aspect going crazy, we can get the Banished Lord's Talisman together with the Crown of Lucian to make our core skills cost a lot, that then every Ixed Bloodwave is a guaranteed overpower. We don't actually have to care anymore in any way about collecting blood orbs. No, you're just spamming away. If you then choose to put the Eben Pierce's Amulet as your pair of boots, together with still having a sacrificial aspect, then every single shadow skill in your skill bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, will give us another 34 to 40% bonus damage multiplicative on the tippity top. Now, I know Big Grown Bloodwave, we've played it so many times, but it's always different and exciting. Lastly, I do want to talk about the Blight build that was already dominating prior season. You pretty much speedran wherever you wanted to go and just kept hurling out Blights, and were doing massive amounts of damage due to the Eben Piercer Amulet. Since it gave you so many ranks into Reaper's Pursuit that again every shadow skill was boosting our damage vastly up. And it worked in Season 9 without a single chaotic unique, without a single chaos power. And now your Eben Piercer Amulet could just be your boots, allowing us to play a boosted aspect in the amulet slot for more damage. Plus, instead of the Horadric powers that gave us pretty much just more barrier. We could just use a Beast Cornered, which gives us 20% more damage for every 10% life we're missing, and then with Mart Guard, put us down to 50% life, so 100% damage bonus, and we get the Crazy Brew, which is going to increase our attack speed tremendously, spamming away faster than ever. And that spamming away is so important because our Shadow Blight key passive is our main damage. It triggers from us overloading them with shadow damage, and then it stacks up tons of damage to go for those billions and billions of crits. That will now be stronger than ever because we just get even more damage on top for free without doing anything. Ta-da! All these builds mentioned in the video will be played, leveled, maxed out on the channel in live streams. No worries, there's a video coming with all the leveling builds too that will get you there the easiest, and I'll be your guide throughout the season. Now tell me in the comments below, which of these is it going to be for you? Or are you rather interested in some Spiritborn stuff? Tell me, share your preferences, and see you soon in the live streams.